Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Test Code Automate. So this is my 18th video for the Playwright with TypeScript series. In this video, I would be covering how to handle select dropdown. So let's start. So we can select one or multiple options in select element with this locator.select option method. You can specify option, value, label or index to select a specific item from the dropdown. So first, let's see how we can identify that a specific element is select dropdown or not. Okay. So for this particular video, I'm going to use these two sites for practice. Okay. So first one is this artoftesting.com and the second one would be the W3 school. Okay. So here, this drop down section is there, right? Once you will scroll to this particular section drop down, you would be able to see this drop down. Okay. And let's inspect this element. So see, for this HTML element, you would be able to see this select HTML tag, right? And if you will see inside this select HTML tag, right, or if it is not expanded, if you will expand it, so you would be able to see different option HTML tag, right? So these option are the items which are available once you expand this particular drop down. Okay. And for these options, we are having this value attribute, right? This value would be relatable, which is available for that particular item. Let's say if this automation testing is there, so you are able to see this value equals to automation, right? And the for other items also, you would be able to see these value, right? Apart from this value, there is this visible text, right? Which is appearing here, right? Automation testing, performance testing, right? So that you would be able to see. Okay. And for some of these options, you would also be able to see the label HTML attribute, right, with its value. Let me show that to you. So if you will go to this W3 school site, okay, so here this is the HTML structure, and here also into the DOM you can see the same. Okay, so see, this is the select drop down, right, and here we are able to see this label HTML attribute, right, and its value is there, right, and these are the visible text. But if the label is present, so that only you would be able to see here, right? So see, Volvo, SWAB, so all the label attributes value we are able to see. Okay. So now let's see the practical example that how we can select these items from the drop down. Okay. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code. Okay. And here I have created this particular script, which is handle select dropdown.spec.ts. Okay. And here I have imported the test from this Playwright test module. Okay. And I have created these two specific tests, right, for the practice. So in the first one, I'm using this site artoftesting.com, and into the second test, I'm using this W3 school site, right? So first, let's start with this artoftesting.com site. Okay. So let's inspect the element. Okay, so for this element, see, we are able to see this select dropdown is there with the ID, right? Its value is testing dropdown. Let's copy this one. Okay, so this ID we would be using to identify the element. Okay, and now go here. So here I've already written this line page.goto and then this site name. Okay, then we are going to locate that particular element, right? Dropdown element. So same thing, we need to do this page dot locator method we are going to use, right? You can also inspect this particular element using this pick locator and can copy that locator. I'm currently using this locator method directly. Okay, and then you can give this CSS selector, right, hash, and then ID value you can directly give. So about this thing, how we can create this CSS selector ID or the XPath, right? So we have already talked into my previous video related to the locator, right? If you have not watched that video, I would recommend you to watch the video. I will also provide the link of this video into the description, so you can go there and click on it. Okay, so once the locator is created, we can use this select option method, right? So put the dot and this select option, right? Okay, and inside this we can provide that what item we want to select, right? So here into the document which I've created, you can see that for this locator.select option method, so there is this first way. There are multiple ways we can select the values, right? Or we can select the item. So first way is that we can directly provide either the value or the label or the visible text, right, to select a specific item. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So this is the select option method I've used, right? And inside this, you need to provide the string. Okay, which string you need to provide? Either you can provide the value or the visible text or the label, right? So let me use first this particular value, right? Value attribute I'm going to use. So this is the value, and its value attributes value is this one, automation, right? So let's select this manual one, right? So let's copy this manual value, okay, and give it directly here, right? So for now, what we are doing, we have created this locator, right? And now we are using the select option method, and we are providing the value attributes value here, right? Which is manual. So we want to select this manual testing, okay? So whatever the item you want to select, you can provide its value here, right? Into this select option method. And the select option method is returning this promise. So that's why we have used this await keyword, right? So let's run this particular script to this testing. Let's refresh it. So our test script will appear here. Okay. So for now, we are just going to run this first test, right? Which is handle select dropdown with value and visible text, right? So let's run it. So here into the browser, you would be able to see that this manual testing option is getting selected, right? As we have provided the value directly, right? So let's see, this site is open, okay, and let me scroll down and check. So see, the manual testing got selected automatically, right? So by default, this automation testing got selected, but with the help of the script, we are able to select the manual testing, right? So see here, we would also be able to see that our test got passed, right? So apart from the value, we can also give the visible text here, right? So let me give that also. So see, what is the visible text? I told you, right? Inside these option tag, you are able to see these visible text, right? Which is written there. So let's select this database testing, right? So let's copy this database testing visible text, and you can directly provide it here, right? You need not to specify that what you are providing, right? First we provided the value, now we are providing this visible text directly, okay? And now let's close all the browser and run the script. So we would be able to select this database testing, okay? Let's run it. Okay, so it will open this particular site, and we would be able to see that database testing got selected, right? So we have used that same method, select option, but now we have provided the visible text, right? So see, we are able to see this database testing got selected. So apart from this value and visible text, we can also provide the label here, right, to select a specific item, right? So for this W3 school site, we saw, right, there is this label attribute which is also given with this option HTML tags, right? So let's go to that site, this one, right? So here, see, this label is label attribute is there with this specific label attributes value, right? So let's go to the second test which we have already created, and here we have used this page.goto and this W3 school site link. Okay, now let's open this link into our Playwright browser, which is already open. Okay, we will inspect this element to get the locator. Okay, so let's use this pick locator, right, to inspect the element and get the locator. Okay, so this is the drop down. Okay, now go to the Visual Studio Code, hit enter to copy the selector, the locator, right, which got generated, and then await page dot that locator, just copy and paste it. Okay, so here you would be able to see this frame locator, right? So because this particular drop down is there inside the iframe. About this iframe handling, we would be talking into the separate video, but for now you can just copy that locator which got generated and use it here, right? And then here we are going to use the select option, right? Select option, and here you can provide the label, right? So let's use this anything. Let's use this Mercedes only. Okay, and just provide it as the string, right? You can also use this single quotes or backticks, right, to give the string. Let's use the single quotes this time. Okay, so now what will happen? It will open this W3 school, and from that locator, it will select this Mercedes using the label right? This is the label which we have provided. So we have checked this how we can provide the value or the visible text or the label, right? Anything you can provide directly, right? So Playwright will automatically detect that you have provided either the text or the value or the label, right? So let's run this second test, right? Let me close all the browser. So once we run it, so we would be able to see that Mercedes option, right, got selected. Okay, let's wait. Okay, so the browser will open this w3 school link. Okay, so see this link got open, right? And here we would be able to see the page is still loading. Okay, so see the page got loaded and Mercedes got selected. Okay, so yeah, by this way, I mean in this select option method you can directly provide anything, right? Either the value or the visible text or the label if it is available, right? With this option HTML elements. Okay, so now let's go to the second way through which we can select a specific value. Okay, let me comment out this is the first way. Okay, let's go to the document. So this is the second way we can provide or we can select a specific item, right? Okay, so these are of all are of same type. So what we are going to do inside this select option method, we are going to use this object and we are going to provide this key and value pair. So what are these key and value? Let me show it to you here. So here this we can use this await page dot. Let's use the same locator, right, for this site artoftesting.com. And now what we are going to do, we are going to use this select option. Okay, and inside it previously we directly provide these value or the visible text or the label as the string, but now what we are going to do, we are going to provide the object. Okay, and inside this object what we will do, we will provide the key and value pair. Okay, so what would be the key? So first thing, I am going to use the value to select the specific item. So what I will do, I will write this value, right? And then you need to give the colon and then you need to provide that value attributes value, right? So let's go to the site. So from this now let's select this performance testing, right? So this is this value attribute and here we are able to see its value as the performance. So let's copy this and here you can directly give that this performance, right? And this one you need to provide it as the string. Okay, so like this I have put it inside the single quotes, right? So now what we are doing, so previously we just gave this string, right, as the value. Now we are specifying that we are giving this object and inside this we are specifying that key is the value and then we are going to select this performance from it, right? And now let's run it. So the same thing is going to happen, right? We are going to select this value, right, performance testing, but here we are going to provide the object. Inside this we have specifically given that we are going to provide the value, right? And this value we have given, right, performance. So let's run the script. Let's close all the browser. Okay, and run the script. So now yeah, our performance testing will get selected, right? Here, let's see. So see the site is open and if you will scroll down, so you would be able to see that performance testing got selected. Okay, and in the similar pattern we can also provide, see here into the document, if you will see, we can also provide the label, right? Here we have used this value and then whatever the value attribute value is there, right? Now we can give the label and label attributes value also we can give. Okay, and here I've kept this note for you, right? If the label attribute is not there with this option, right, HTML tag, so in that case you can provide the visible text. Okay, but if the label attribute is there, then the visible text will not work here, right? Let me show it to you. So for now, see, for this element, okay, for this particular site, for this option HTML tag, we are not able to see that label attribute, right? So if the label attribute is not there, you can directly use this visible text as the label here. So let's select this database testing, right? So let's copy this visible text. Okay, so here we are not having this label, so that's why we are giving this visible text as the label, right? So what we can do, let's remove this value part, or let's comment it out. Okay, so here we need to provide this await and then page dot, let's copy this locator, right, with this css selector. Okay, and then we can use the same method select option. Okay, and here we are going to provide the object where the key would be the label, and then colon, and then this label attributes value we need to provide, right? So as we saw, we are not having that label attribute itself, but here on the place of that label attribute we are directly providing this visible text. Okay, so let's give it as the string. Okay, so that's it. So if you will give this visible text on place of label, right, if the label attribute is not there, then it will work. Okay, let me close all the browser and run the script. So see, the browser got open, and here if you will scroll down, so see the database testing got selected. Okay, and this is the case where the label attribute is not there, so that's why we have provided the visible text. But what if the label attribute is there? So for this W3 school site, here if you will see, this label attribute is there, right? So we can directly provide this label attributes value, right? So let's select this Audi this time. Okay, so here let me use the same locator await and then copy this line till this point. Okay, okay, so this is the locator. Then let's use this same method select option. Okay, and inside it we are going to provide the object with the label as the key, and the value would be the label attributes value, because here we are able to see the label attribute, right? Let's provide this label attributes value here, which is Audi. Okay, so now what will happen, it will be able to select the value label. I'm giving the wrong spelling. Okay, so now it would be able to select this label, right, with the Audi, right? So it would be able to select this item with this label. Let's run this script, close all the browser, click on to the run for the second test. Okay, so see the browser got open. Okay, and this value will get selected here once the page is loaded. So see this Audi got selected, right? So if the label is present, you need to provide the label attribute value, right? If you will provide the visible text in this case, so you would not be able to select. Let me show it to you, right? So previously when the label was not present, we provided this visible text, right? But as this label is present, right, and even though if this label is present and if you will give this visible text as the label, right, so it would not be able to select, right? Let me run the script. So previously when we gave the visible text as the label, so it worked because the label attribute was not present there, right? But here as the label attribute present, so this will get failed, right? So see the value, this particular script site got open, right? And it is trying to select this element with this label, right? But this label is not there, right? So that's why it will get failed. So see it is not able to find this particular item, right? And this failure is also there, which we would be able to see. Okay, so now coming on to the next way through which we can select the item. Okay, so the same way which we have used, right? First we provided the value as the key and its value, then we provided the label, right, and this label attributes value. Now we are going to use this index to select the specific item. Okay, let me clear all the errors. Okay, So here, now what I'm going to do, let me comment out this line, right? And now let's this await and copy this locator again, and dot select option we have already copied. Okay, and then what we can do, we need to provide that object where the key would be the index, right? Now we are going to give the index to select that element. I will show you what is the index. So index is kind of, right, let's see, this is the element, right? And we want to select for an example this manual testing, so it is there at the third position, right? First, second and third. So index will start from the 0th. So this is the, at the 0th index we are having this automation testing. At the first index we are able to see this performance testing, and this is the second index where we are able to see the manual testing. So 0, 1, 2, 3, right? From the 0 you would be able to see the items which are there. So if you want to select this manual testing which is there at third position, so for that the index would be 2, right? 0, 1 and 2. So let's give this index colon and then 2 as the integer you need to provide, right? So no need to put the single quotes or the double quotes, right? Directly you can provide this integer, right? Okay, now let's run the first test only. So here we have given the index as the 2. So it will open the site, and at the third position that manual testing was present, but for that the index would be the 2, right? So if you scroll down, so see the manual testing automatically got selected. Okay, so yeah, we have covered all the options, right, to select the specific value. So yeah, that's it for this particular video. Let me give you the quick recap. Okay, so this select drop down you can identify using this select HTML tag, right? So if the particular element is having this select HTML tag, and inside it if this option HTML tag is present, so you can use the select option method to select a specific item, right? Okay, and there are different ways we can select the items. So one is the using the select option, and inside it directly you can provide any value, label or the visible text which you want to select directly as the string. Okay, so that's what we have done here. So directly we have provided either the value or the visible text or the label, right, to select the specific item. And the second way is that we can provide the object, and inside the object we can provide this key and value pair where we will specify that what is the exact thing which we are going to use to select the specific item. So here we have used this value to select the item. Here we have used the visible text as the label attribute was not present, so we were able to give this visible text as the label. But if the label attribute was present here, so in that case you will have to provide the label, right? If you will provide this visible text, so we saw, right, our execution got failed because it would not be able to select it, right? You need to specifically provide this label only, right? And this one we saw where we can give the index value to select the specific items. So if you want to select the item using the index, so we can use this index, right? But here let's say if the position got changed, developer changed the item position, right, or the new item got added into the select drop down, so it would not be able to select the correct value. So it's recommended to use this thing, right, either the value or the visible text, right, to select the specific value, or the label also you can select, right? But avoid this index, right? If you want to select the specific value, then use these other ways. But if it is not required to select the specific value, but you want to just select any value, so you can just give any index, right? It will select it. So yeah, that's it from my end. You can click onto this first card to learn about how we can select multiple values from multi-select dropdown. From the second card, you can access to the whole playlist. Okay, and stay tuned for my upcoming videos. If you have any comments, questions, doubts, you can let me know into the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.